Hi guys, we are back again with the exciting MySQL. Today we're going to talk about the basic thing of any database. Data type. All the data worldwide has a data and a data type in all the tables. Let's see here. MySQL data types. You can see most of these in version 8, some of these. We are going to talk about trains table. There is a row, these are the columns, these are the rows. This is a sample table, This is the ID, primary key, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's jump back here. We can divide into three types: string data type, numeric data types, date data types. So let's see here. Character size is the very basic bit, fixed from 0 to 255 is the range. These are the ranges. On the right side, varchar, very commonly used. S means size, 0 to 65535. Binary, very basic to the computers, is a character, similar to the character. Variable binary, varchar, similar to varchar, but binary byte strings. Here it's bits, this is byte. 1 byte equal to 8 bits. Tiny blob, small blob. Range is binary, it's binary large. BLOB means binary large object. So this is of type tiny but 255 bytes. Tiny text, 255 characters. Both are similar. Text, string 0 to 65535 bytes. Blob, regular blob, not the tiny one. Regular ones, 0 to 65535. Medium text, string. This is the range, 16 million. So MySQL has a lot of different types of, this is a good positive thing about MySQL. Long text, 4 billion. Long blob, 4 billion. Enum, it's like the Java enumerated, like fixed things you group together, 65535 parameters. This thing can have V1, V2 up to 65535, V65535 values. Set is the list. V1, V2 values, 64 values. MySQL has a set data type. These are all string. Let's talk about numeric. Bits, very basic thing of data, 64. Tiny int, 255. Negative range, negative 128 to 1 plus 127. Total is 255. Bool or Boolean is yes or no. See, 0, others. Small int, 65535. Overall range, negative 32766 to 32767. Medium is 16 million. Int, integers, negative 2 billion to positive 2 billion. Big int, very large limit. You can't even put a number on that one. Float, S comma D is decimal. D is decimal. There's a place for the two types, float and double. Same like Java C language. 0 to 24, when P, float of P, when P is 0 to 24, it's float. P is 25 to 53, it's double. Same thing, double, we talked about here. Precision, this is called precision. How many decimal points after the integer. Decimal of S comma D separately, you can put dec, S, D is fixed. These are all numeric data types. Let's talk about another important data type, which is date. Basic is Y, year, month, date. There's a date time. See, HH, hours, minutes, seconds. Timestamp, same as the date time. But you can format, with the timestamp. Date time, you can put default at the current time, or there is another clause called onUpdate while creating. For the table column values, there's a time which shows the time, year, Y, default current timestamp, onUpdate current timestamp. So these are all the basic things of pretty much any database. We are talking about MySQL. Let's talk about another thing, constraints. Let's move on here. Constraints are, okay, there's a table, there's millions of tables, millions of data. What are the rules while creating the table or while inserting or updating? We have to put some rules. We cannot put all data into one table. So those are called constraints. Let's talk about this for data security and maintenance. Create table, table name, we know all this. We put another thing called constraint 1, constraint 2, constraint 3. What are these constraints? I'm going to talk about all different types. One is the not null. We are saying put no null data on this column. Data is not empty. It should have a value. For example, the clothes table. Create table soka. Cloth name varchar is not null, so it should not be empty. And all other columns, CID not null, cloth ID, number of luggages int. Then I'm putting alter table soka, number of luggages not null. This is another form of putting it. Unique constraint. Data has to be unique. We cannot have put duplicate values there. Data has no duplicates. Used with the primary key on a table. Many constraints can be put on a table. Many columns can be put on the same constraint name. Add unique cloth ID or put unique, you put a name to the constraint name, unique of CID. You can add more columns here. CID column, 10 columns. It's a very powerful feature. Many columns here, that's what I put. Next is the important part of table, primary key. There should be only one primary key for a table. It can be based on thousands of columns. Primary key, each table, many columns. Add primary key, column name, no null values. Next is foreign key. We talked about a lot about in the previous 50 videos I created in MySQL. Check them. Main table, second table. This is the cloth table, warehouse table. This cloth table, but you have to put clothes somewhere. Where are the clothes? They are in the warehouse table. Joined by primary key here, this will be a foreign key here, see ID. This one has a primary key on its own. This is foreign key referencing the primary key of main table. It's like a parent child. Next is create index. This is very important. If you don't create an index, the performance will be very slow on the tables on the website everywhere in the world. So you have to create multiple indexes on different columns. First thing you do is create table. Second thing is create indexes. So on columns, speed the data access, many indexes on columns. Create index, I'm creating index on name. On soka of CNAME. You can put many columns, There could be thousands of indexes for a really million row table. Next one is check constraint. While inserting data into each row, each column, we can put a check, range of values. This is called check, like number of luggages in the trains table. I'm saying check number of luggage less than 5. If you try to put 6, it won't allow because the train is small. You cannot put a lot of luggages on different passengers. There is a limit. It's a small train, small flight. On the column level, constraint cnum numlug less than 5 or and cname not null. You can put a lot of conditions here too. It's very powerful. Next is default. You can put default values for all the columns. I'm putting instead of 0, I'm putting number of luggage default 1. A passenger will have at least one luggage. That's the assumption here. Auto increment, CID is int, not null. Auto increment, it will increase one by one, it will increase. You can actually put the starting value also. That's a good feature of MySQL. There are no duplicates. Create unique index name on soka of column names. So today we talked about data types, constraints, all the important things related to tables. I have about 200 videos on web, MySQL and all the web related languages. Please watch them. Thanks for watching.